Alright, this is a short video to show new students or transfer students how to first get into Turnitin.com if you've never used it before. Turnitin.com is a program, basically an online website that we use that allows us to basically submit papers online, and it checks for plagiarism, makes sure that the papers that are being turned in are actually written by the students that wrote them. So to actually get on, and it's required by pretty much everyone in the English department, and some of the other departments use it as well. So this is something that you'll probably end up using in at least one and possibly multiple classes. To start, you just put in www.turnitin.com into any browser, and it should take you to this window that I've already got open. You'll notice that there's obviously all these things: features, resources, customers. You can ignore all that. Basically, the area that you need to come up to is this area up here. There's create account and there's login. Now, of course, if you do not have an account, then you need to come to create account. If you are looking on how to log in, then that is a different video. So let's click on create account, and it will give you this window. In this window, you'll notice that it's got these two boxes for email address and password, but those are not what you want, because if you notice up here it says, have you ever used Turnitin? This is basically just reminding you that if you have an account from either a previous school or a previous year here at this school, that you do not need to make a new account. And it actually is better to not create a new account for multiple reasons. First of all, it helps you keep all your papers together. Secondly, SHG only pays for a certain number of logins, and if you create a new account for each class, then we're going to have to delete some of your accounts, and that obviously is going to be a hassle for everyone. So please don't create multiple accounts, but obviously if you don't have an account yet, then you just come down here. It says create a new account, and below that it asks you which type. You'll obviously want to choose student, and then it gives you this form to fill out. Most of this stuff is just the normal stuff that you'd fill out. However, these top two boxes are stuff that you should get from your teacher. Class ID will be a 7-digit number, or possibly longer, but most of them are 7 digits as far as I know. And you simply start typing that number in, and then you come down to class enrollment password. So for instance, for my first hour class, the number is this right here. It of course auto-completed for me because I've typed that in before, but 8356891 is the one this year for my first hour class. And then a class enrollment password, you'd simply type in whatever your teacher gave you. Then you come down to user information, and you get your first name, your last name, and email address. For email address, please use your shg.org address. It's very important that we use that one, because then if you forget it next year when you're coming in as a sophomore, it's easier for us to figure out what your email address was if you've forgotten. It is possible to have someone look that up for you, but it usually requires you going to your previous teacher, so obviously it can be a bit of a hassle if you have to go talk to a different teacher than the one you're currently working with. And of course that teacher's probably busy and has better things to do than look up your old email address. If we have to do that, that's fine, but we want to minimize that, so please use your shg.org email address. From there, you got enter your password, confirm your password. This is a password of your choice. So whatever you set for your normal passwords, or if you'd like to have a unique one, as long as you can remember it, that is what you want to put in here. Then of course there's a secret question, which can be any of these. What is your mother's maiden name, father's middle name, last 5 digits of your social security number, or anything down in the favorite author, favorite book, favorite movie type stuff. I would recommend you probably use something that is going to be fairly lasting, though, fairly permanent. So these top 5 especially are, well, sorry, top 4 are very permanent ones. Library card number, I don't even know if they put numbers on those. I'm sure they do, but you could use that. These favorite ones, if it's been something that's been your favorite for a long time, that's fine. But for instance, if you were to choose who is your favorite author, if you do this as a freshman and you're on a big Harry Potter kick and you put J.K. Rowling, but then next year you're on a John Green kick and you have to check this and you type John Green in, obviously Turnitin doesn't keep up with your changing preferences. So the favorite ones might be something to avoid unless you know it's going to be something that you'll remember what your answer is a year later. Once you do all that, obviously it's got the user agreement down here, which is a bunch of legal stuff.
If you really feel the need to read it, feel free to do so. Otherwise, you'll simply click on I agree, create profile. And when you do that, I'm going to click on I disagree, even though, since I didn't fill it in. And when you do that, you should see a screen along the lines of what you're going to see from me here in just a second. It should show you a screen like this, where you have your class with a class ID, the class name, which in this case is Talkin' 1 because this is for my first hour class. Tell you the instructor, the status, which as you can see is active, and then you can decide whether you want to drop the class or not. We recommend you don't drop any old classes, so you can ignore that. It's just easier for you and for your former teachers to be able to see all your old papers in case there's a reason to do so if you don't drop classes. So even if this says expired, we recommend you just leave those sitting there. It's not really causing you a major problem. So that is how to get into Turnitin.com the first time. There will be later videos on how to put in an assignment, as well as how to enroll in a class if you're already got a Turnitin.com account, or how to find your password if you've lost that. So if you need that information, that is a different video, so please look at the other videos to find that one. Thank you for watching.